Hello, I'm Taejun, and I'm broke, literally. Today, I'm gonna explain who I am, how I grew my business and shut it down, and finally, how I found a new challenge from the bottom. Of course, I have a bit of money, my computer and my phone. Well, I got a lot, but also debt. I'm Korean, not North, South. I graduated from quite good school, full of confidence. I launched my own startup, winning a government subsidy in 2023. I thought I was smart. Listen, our strategy was first, benchmarking a successful startup. Second, solve the pain points of the original service. We were benchmarking the French startup Familio and launching it in Korea. Familio is a service where family members share their lives in family feed, like social network, and printed gazette gets delivered to grandparents. And when I interviewed user, my girlfriend was using it. The pain point was obvious. Even if they loved their grandparents, uploading pictures and leaving a message every month was quite exhausting. So our strategy was first, copy Familio in a Korean context. Second, automate the image uploading process. Third, since Familio hadn't yet dominated the US market, dominated ourselves. Back in 2023, when I first created this startup, ChatGPT wasn't good enough. There were obvious limitations on vibe coding, so to get the best result with the limited budget, my co-founder and I decided to spend most of our money outsourcing the application. Huge mistake. But I had been working as a project manager for 2 years, and my co-founder, he's a developer, not just a guy using ChatGPT. He was the kind of guy who built AI. We thought we could control them. We were arrogant. Here's what actually happened. Government subsidy program have a due date. The outsourcing company kept pushing their deadline again and again. But for founders, missing the program due date means you have to refund the entire subsidy. And it counts against you when applying for a future government program. So we were forced into a corner, signed a paper stating that development was complete, even when it wasn't, just to close out the program. At the end of 2023, we had spent all our subsidy and were left with the broken application. In 2024, my co-founder and I decided to put in our own money, around 15K. But with 15K, we couldn't find an experienced developer. We hired junior developers and it took forever to build a single feature. And honestly, I'm not sure it was cost effective to hire an untrained junior. In late 2024, the Vibe coding editor Cursor started showing really strong performance. And from that point, I started Vibe coding myself. If you're willing to understand how the existing code works and you can come up with an idea for how to modify it to implement the feature you want, it can actually work. After 2 years of full stress and frustration, our only goal was just to launch. And we finally decided to take out government startup loan of around 70K. I know it looks stupid, but I felt that I had to. And I look back at the business plan I pitched to get the subsidy and loan. All those numbers I calculated that no one had ever challenged it because they seemed so logical. Finally, the team started using coding agents, development got faster, and we finally launched. But there were no users. We used Instagram, YouTube, Thread to promote our service. We tried different markets, the US, France, Japan, nothing worked. We picked up our phone and started dialing to senior centers and it was endless rejection. One center said that, yeah, we know grandparents would love it. They would sleep with it, but we're the ones who have to throw it away when they've passed. We had hypothesis that once people started using it, they wouldn't be able to stop. But they never started at all. We spent too much money on marketing, HR, and now I have nothing but debt. So do I give up? Well, on the product, maybe, but not on my life. I can't, I have family. So what do? I've been thinking about it for so long time. I've applied several companies, but I failed. One guy said that the reason failed founders struggle to find jobs, at least in Korea, is this: running a business means managing people who are better than you in specific domains. I mean, your skills in design, code, business, marketing, finance, and sales are all above average, but not as strong as dedicated professionals in any one area. Your actual skill is problem solving itself. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reach out to some businesses, ask what they're struggling with, and solve it if I can. And also you watching my videos until now. Thank you so much for watching, and please share anything bothering you in work, in life, whatever, in the problem box in the description.